Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for joining me on this beautiful Sunday morning. Now, as you can tell, you're going to start seeing all these new Spinnaker Spence reviews pop up on the different watch review channels. Spinnaker has dropped a brand new dive watch. I think it's pretty neat. It's not without its faults, but I think overall it's still a pretty cool watch. Anyway, today I've got the brand new Spence 300-meter automatic diver from Spinnaker. This is model number SP-5097-22. And guys, I have to say, I mean, these Spinnaker watches are getting pretty dang good, and they're also getting a little bit more expensive. So you're getting a little bit more for your money. The quality's getting better, the engineering's getting better. And I'm not just saying that because Spinnaker sent me one of these. I've noticed, this has kind of been a trend for them for probably the last, 3 or 4 years. So these are starting to be really, really nice watches. So anyway, let's check this thing out. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get on with the review here in just a minute, but first check out my Amazon shopping channel if you like any of the other watches I've reviewed on my channel. As y'all know, I get a very small, super small commission if you buy from my Amazon store. So if you want to do that and help out the channel, I would definitely appreciate it. So this is Spinnaker packaging. They've kind of changed up their packaging a few times over the last few years. I guess this is the latest iteration of their packaging. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way here for just a second. You got an outer watch box. It comes with this inner kind of like clamshell case. This is my favorite version of their packaging. I always like packaging that you can then repurpose for something else. I love little cases like this. Like this would be a great travel case. Put some shaving cream, a razor, some toothpaste, a toothbrush in here. I love stuff like this. You can, reuse the packaging for something else. Anyway, let's open this thing up. Take a look at the watch, and as usual, I'll go ahead and put up all the specs. I'll tell you all the 7 specs y'all need to know, and then I'll put the rest of the stuff down there in the description field for you. So you got this like bright kind of blaze orange, marine orange kind of backing in here. You have got some extra spring bars right there. You have got, let's see what this is right here. All right, guys, that was kind of a pain in the butt to get that stuff out. Anyway, you have got your warranty card right there. You have got your instruction manual right here. Obviously, the watch is really simple to operate, so you really don't even need to read this stuff. And of course, again, you have got your extra spring bars right there. It also comes with a leather strap. I would never put a leather strap on a dive watch, especially if I'm actually going to be using it in any sort of marine environment. That's just me, because those leather straps can get all funkified, nasty, and they smell really, really gross. They also give you a spring bar tool right there. Nice little spring bar tool. Let me actually show you the strap here. Well, I was going to take it out. Okay, I'm not going to show you the strap just because, y'all know what it is. It's a leather strap. I'm going to kind of keep it in the case right there because these are kind of a pain in the butt to put back in. Let's go ahead and take the watch out. Here is the tag right there. Let me show you the tag. There you go. Spinnaker. All right. Let's put this back in, this little pillow here. There's your first real look at the watch. Now this Spence's claim to fame is the fact that it's super thin. As you can see, wow, it really is thin. I'm not quite sure how they do this. And it still has a 300-meter water resistance rating. I'm not sure which magic, Spinnaker is employing here to be able to do this, but pretty cool. All right, let's get all this other stuff out of the way. Let me give you all the 7 specs you need to know, and again, I'll put everything else down there in the description field for you. All right, so you're looking at a 40-millimeter stainless steel case. It's only 10.9 millimeters thick. It's 48.1 millimeters lug to lug. It does come on a 20-millimeter stainless steel bracelet. Again, water resistance is 300 meters, which is about 1,000 feet. It has the Miyota 9039 movement side with about a 42-hour power reserve. Again, Miyota is owned by Citizen. You do get a sapphire crystal with an AR coating. You get a signed screw-down crown over here at 3 o'clock. I like the fact this is oversized. Kind of reminds me of like an Oris big crown. Anyway, all these other specs, check them out down there in the description field. if you want to really know all the nitty gritty about the watch. So I think it's a cool looking watch. There are some things about the watch I like. So I'll go ahead and go over the stuff that I like, and then I'll go over the stuff that I don't like. I like the overall look of the watch. It really is like a mishmash of tons of different classic divers. You've got like a Planet Ocean style handset from an Omega. Of course, you've got, indexes from a Rolex. You got a big crown, kind of like this from an Oris. It's a multitude of different brands have been kind of infused into this watch. So it's not really like an original design, even though it is. It just takes cues from a whole bunch of different watchmakers. And I think they pull it off. I think they pull it off rather nicely. Again, love the overall thinness of the watch. Not quite sure how they do that. Even the case back, as you can see, is very flush with the case. Really, really cool. Not quite sure how they do that. Again, love that oversized big crown. Very grippy, easy to turn, has a nice feel to it. Obviously, you only have one position where you pull it out and then you just adjust the hour hand, minute hand, because it doesn't have a date or a day function on there. I like the Lumed bezel. It'd be nice to maybe use ceramic with this. These aluminum bezel inserts are kind of like, out with the dinosaurs. They're a little bit old now. Grip is pretty good, even though the bezel itself is pretty thin. It kind of matches the overall thinness of the case. So, but the actual action is really good. Really, really nice bezel action on this thing. It's fantastic click. Let's see if it lines up perfectly. And it does. Hint, hint, Seiko. I always say that whenever I find a bezel that outperforms a Seiko bezel, which is just about every time. Anyway, the overall look of the dial, I like the overall look of the dial. I like the sunburst. Some of y'all might be purists and maybe want a black dial. Hey, that's cool. I get it. But I do like this kind of sunburst blue. I like the little orange, lollipop second hand. Indexes are really painted on. They have a small little border around them, but for the most part, they're painted on. I'm not a big fan of that big, huge, spelled out, chromed Spinnaker logo. I think it, cheapens the watch a little bit. I think maybe just a nice logo, something simple. I just don't like that big chrome spelled out Spinnaker logo. I'm just not a big fan. Have never been a big fan of that. I just think it kind of cheapens the watch just a little bit. Handset is fine. Again, kind of reminds me of a Planet Ocean from Omega. Everything else is pretty cool. Even on the bezel, you see his little dots underneath each index. See a little dot right there at 10 o'clock. And then you have one under each one at 20 and, 30, 40, 50. That's an interesting little design choice. I thought it'd be kind of cool to maybe put a day, a day or a date function on this watch, but not quite sure what they did. Maybe that'll help, obviously with the thickness of the watch with it being so thin. Case-wise, really nice. My other main complaint is the bracelet is kind of like an afterthought, man. I mean, look, man, you got to have some female end links. See how it just kind of tapers off like that? And it just bulges out over the end of the lugs? I just think that's just poor planning, poor execution, being a little lazy. Honestly, Spinnaker, I mean, come on, man. Integrate that bracelet better with the case. It just kind of looks like shit when you do it like that. Another thing with the bracelet, even though the bracelet is comfortable, look at the size of this buckle, man. Good God, y'all. Look at the size of that buckle. Compared to the thinness of the links, compared to the thinness of the actual case. I guess they just, took this out of the parts bin and said, you know what, screw it. It is what it is. That buckle is way too thick for this watch. Incredibly thick. And it's also a little hard to actually clasp. I do like the fact that they do have a scissor clasp, a milled scissor clasp. That's a nice touch. But the actual buckle itself, man, is just way, way too thick. It just makes the watch look, it just makes it look off. Now, you're obviously not going to notice that when you're wearing it that much, but it just makes it look off. Another thing, that buckle is way too hard to snap in right there. That little pin, I mean, it took some force to snap that in. I mean, it's secure, but wow. Okay, it does take a lot of force to do that. I guess that could be a good thing depending on how you look at it. Case back, you got some decoration on the case back there. I've still got that little sticker on there. But that's the other Spence logo. I'm sorry, that's the other Spinnaker logo, that N. I don't know if that's supposed to be a sideways S or a Z or an N. I don't know what the hell's going on. A little confusing. Anyway, that's their circular logo. Of course, here is their regular logo, the spelled out chrome logo. And then if you look right here, you'll see where it says Spence. You'll see the logo inside the word Spence right above 6 o'clock there. So guys, it's an interesting watch. Only thing with watches like this is the fact that it's so thin makes me wonder, how did they do it? Is the watch really going to be water resistant down to 1,000 feet? I mean, you know, it's going to turn out to be around $500 after you know, if you go to their sign up page, you know, it says $650, but you can save 25%, which brings the watch down to about $500. But is it really going to be water resistant to 1,000 feet from, you know, what is still kind of a micro brand company? It just makes me nervous. I mean, that's a lot of money. Now, if this was a watch from Citizen or Seiko or G-Shock, I wouldn't think twice about the integrity of that water resistance claim of, you know, 300 meters. But with this company and any other company that's not one of the main companies, it just always makes me a little nervous. You know, these are big claims, and this watch is really thin. I mean, it's really thin to be water resistant, you know, that deep. You know, that's the only thing. The rest of the watch, I mean, I think the build quality is great. I like the build quality. I like the overall look. This male end link crap has got to go, though. That just makes it look like absolute shit. I hate that. I hate the fact that this buckle is so much thicker than it should be, than it needs to be. I mean, look at the size. Again, look how thin the links are compared to the buckle. I mean, good grief, man. I do like the fact that it does have a scissor clasp. That's nice. And, you know, overall, I like the look of the watch. Really like that crown, nice and gnarly, grippy on the crown. But, you know, a couple different things that, you know, are causes for concern, at least in my book. All right, let's go ahead and try it on real quick. I would actually have to take out a couple links for this thing. It's a little too big as it is out of the box. And man, this buckle, good grief. What is going on? All right, there we go. Feels good. I mean, it feels very comfortable. I have to admit, it feels really, really comfortable. Man, it feels really comfortable. That thinness, man, that thinness, wow. All right, let me go and take it off. Let's kill the studio light. Let's kill this monitor. Let's check out this Lume. Some sort of Super-LumiNova. I don't know which one. There's really not but so much information on their website just because this is just a sign up. They don't have all the specs on the website. Really good Lume. Look at that. Nice Lume. Again, you got those little dots on each index. You got the lollipop, all the indexes, the hands, the bezel. Looks good. Again, you know, not Seiko LumiBright. No watch is ever going to be Seiko LumiBright, but it looks good. I like it. All right, let's go ahead and cut everything back on. Guys, tell me what you think of this thing. What do you think about the price, the specs, all the you know, issues that I brought up? Do you agree with those issues? Do you not? Do you think I'm being, you know, overly critical of the watch? Anyway, if you want to get one of these, head on over to Spinnaker's website. Again, they have a sign-up page. It's currently $650, but if you sign up early, they'll give you a 25% discount, which brings the watch right down to right around $500. I've got some other coupon codes. I'll go ahead and pop that up on the screen. I don't know if that's going to work in conjunction with this, but these coupon codes are always good for any Spinnaker watch, any Aviate watch. So make sure you try those as well. Again, I don't know if it's going to work in conjunction with this, with the 25% sign up. But, you know, I mean, try it. See what happens. You never know. So, guys, that's really been about it for this one. As always, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you click that notification bell. It really does help my algorithm, and I really do appreciate it personally. And, guys, that's been about it for this one. I've got a really cool watch coming up in about a week or so, and I think you're really going to enjoy this one. I know I am. I saw it, and I just pounced on it. I had to have it. So I think you're really going to like it. Anyway, until then, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next review. Take care.